Hello everyone, this is Jaden Dunn from Kiss My Glass Antiques, and today we're actually going to do like a recap of 2023 and like our best finds from 2023, so we're not out antiquing. And also I shared on my personal Facebook today about my YouTube channel, so if you guys are from my Facebook page and I actually know you, thank you for coming to watch. And for everybody else that was already here, thanks for watching. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each item, and we actually ranked them. We're going to do our 15 best finds, starting at 15 and going to number 1, which will be the best. And I'm going to put like a picture in the video here of like the item, because we don't have all the items still, like we've sold some. So let's get into it. And also I wrote like notes down, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So number 15, and if you hear the dog, just ignore that. Number 15 we're going to start with is my dad's red epic column, and we actually got this in Kansas City from Matt Cass Vintage, and Matt Cass Vintage is his name on Instagram, so if you're interested in seeing his booth, go check that out. We found this in one of our items for later in the video there. So yeah, we found them both at the same time. We paid $160 for dad's broken column. Is a ruby red broken column, Ellie Smith swung vase, and I think it's probably worth about $200, so we saved about $40 there. Yeah, it was a good find. It wasn't like the absolute best find, but dad really liked it, and it's his first vase that he bought himself. So okay, number 14, I put the Viking glass Dean 6 book, and I haven't actually showed you guys a picture of it or anything yet. So I'll insert a picture right here, or maybe like a little video of it. This book, it shows all the glass before 1970, I believe, from 1944 to 1970 of Viking glass. And so I mean, it's not everything that we have is in it, and not everything that you see out there is in it. But this book is really hard to find, and the hardback version can go for like $400+. It's really stupid expensive, and we ended up getting ours for $250, and my parents and me and Luke actually split the cost, so it was $125 for each of us, so we got it for a really good deal. Okay, so number 13, which if you are a watcher of the channel, like that stays current, you know where we're headed right now, is the Viking duck covered candy dish, which is like my favorite item, and I've talked about it a lot on the channel. But I paid $200 for it, and while that is very expensive and it sounds like a lot of money, which it is, these can go for $300 to $400 plus sometimes, depending on who's selling it, of course. And $200 is like the lowest price you're probably going to find on them, because they're so rare and there's not very many of them out there. And most of the time, if someone gets a hold of them, they're going to keep a hold of it and they're not going to sell it. So, of course, we had to put that on this list because it's my favorite. And that was number 13. Going to number 12 is actually our Ellie Smith. The dog's making noise, sorry. Ellie Smith red Nuby Butt. And that is like the biggest swung vase. It's the second biggest swung vase we have, I believe. And it's, of course, I'm going to have a picture here, but it's got a fat red butt on it, and these vases are highly sought after and hard to find because, like I said about the candy dish, if people get a hold of it, they don't want to sell it. And so they can go for $500 or more, which is what I estimate our red one is worth, about $500, due to the size, the height, the mouth, and we only paid $200 for it. We got it at an estate sale, and I could talk forever about that estate sale because they were crooked, but we're not going to go into that today. We're just going to say that that was one of the best finds that we've had, and it's been about a year since we got that, actually. It was super cold, and the roads were super slick, and we stayed the night at my cousin's a couple hours away from here just to get it, but we got it. So, moving on to number 11 is actually going to be our other Nuby Butt, and it is a green Ellie Smith Nuby Butt. We actually got two at the same time. We got them in a bundle deal, and we actually sold one and kept the other, so I'll have a picture of both of them up. We kept the one with like the cooler mouth, the more funky mouth, and we sold the other for, I think it was $350, it might have been $400. and I would say it's worth between $350 and $450. That person just got like a pretty good price on it, honestly. Nuby Butts, you don't normally see them go under $400 or $500 anymore because they're so sought after and people like to keep them. Because the green one we kept had the more interesting mouth. Had we sold it, it would have gone for more like, I think, more like $500 because of the cool mouth. So, yeah. We can move on to the next one. So, the next one is kind of weird because it's actually a group of items. But in August, I think it was, me and my dad went to a local estate sale, which we never have good glass at estate sales. And when we do, there's like glass sharks out there that will get them before you or are absolutely rude and literally will have someone come with them just to stand in your way so they can get the glass first. But there was actually none of that at this one. Dad came with me and helped me grab all the stuff that I wanted, and I'm going to put a video of everything we found here. But the top 3 items that we found were a Bittersweet smoothie, Ellie Smith, and that is worth about $350. Maybe a little bit more than $350 because it is quite a large one, and it is the wide bottom butt and not the small bottom butt. And then we also got an amber smoothie, which is actually this one right here. And that one was actually something we didn't realize that it was at that estate sale until the very last minute. And we paid $35 for it. We paid $45 for the Bittersweet. I don't remember who said that. And then we also got this Blanco genie bottle. Now, unfortunately, or it's decanter. Unfortunately, the top and the bottom are actually married pieces, which means they're not originally the pieces that went together, but Luke and I actually really like it, so we kept it. And I would say that genie bottle, because of the color and because of the style, is probably worth, I would think, about $300. We didn't sell it, and I haven't found any quotes with the married stopper yet. But just the stopper alone is worth well over $100, maybe even $200, because it's hard to find in that color. And it is in the Peacock color. It's like a dark turquoise, which the bottle we found is Blanco, but Peacock also is in Ellie Smith, Viking, and Polly. It's just like a dark turquoise teal color. Moving on to the next, number 9. So, number 9 is actually going to be like 2 things that we found, but they're the same item, they're just different places we found them. So first we'll start with our persimmon mushroom, and this is just a Viking mushroom. I believe they were in the small size, but they might have been mediums, so we're gonna base the price off of if they were small. And these, we found two in Kansas City, and they were $90 each, so we went ahead and bought both because I was gonna keep one and I was gonna sell the other, and I did do that. I kept one, I sold the other for, I think it was $120, which is what I would say that they are worth. Maybe a little more because they're persimmon, and persimmon is a harder to find color from Viking, which just means they were orange. I did keep the other one for a little while, and I put it in my fish tank, and then our fish got sick because it got cadmium poisoning from the mushroom. So we took it out and I sold it, and I was gonna buy another one with that money, but I ended up not buying another one. And then in December, I think it was, of 2023, we actually got a ebony mushroom, which is which is included in this number 9, and we found it for $50 from a local guy, and it is worth around $250, we believe. I haven't found a comp like from the last 30 or 90 days or whatever it is on eBay, but I did talk to a couple of the other people who have had them or have sold them, and we came up with a price around $250. Is what we think it's worth in this current market for a small ebony mushroom with the sticker. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I do like persimmon. It was sad to see that one go, but I actually ended up getting a medium persimmon one like right after, like the same week as getting the ebony one, so it's okay. Moving on, number 8. This is also another combo one, because I got them at the same time at the same place. I got an Ellie Smith red ribbed swung vase and an Ellie Smith bittersweet diamond butt vase for $150 each, so $300 total in Texas when we were there visiting my family. And they were just from this little lady's house, and she was just selling some stuff to make some money, and so we got a heck of a deal on those. The red ribbed by itself is probably a $200 vase, maybe a little more. They've become a little more sought after, and the bittersweet diamond butt is probably a $350, maybe $400 vase because it's Bittersweet and it's one of the larger style vases that come in Bittersweet and more hard to find. So I'd say it's around $350, maybe a little less, but I don't think so. So paying $150 each was a great price for both of those, especially because we were already in Texas and it was just a good find at the time at Facebook Marketplace find. And that was number 8. So moving on to number 7. At the same estate sale that we got the red Nuby Butt, Ellie Smith red Nuby Butt, we actually got a couple other things that are on this list, and this is one of them. We got a Ellie Smith Bittersweet ribbed swung vase. It's about 20 inches tall, so it's nothing crazy. It has an interesting mouth, but we got it for $50 at that estate sale, and while most of the prices were really high, they actually didn't have that one priced, and they asked me what I wanted to pay, and I told them, and the man was happy with $50, and the lady was not happy with $50, so the guy sold it to me for $50. And so we only got it for $50, and I would say that is probably a $250, $300 vase, maybe even $325 because it's Bittersweet. So that was a steal. So maybe if we sold it, we would make $300 off of it, but I'm keeping it until I find one that I like better, because on my wish list is a really, really cool, like really tall, cool mouth rib Bittersweet, but I'm going to keep the one I have for now because it was a good deal. Okay, moving on to number 6. Now, I don't think we've had this one on the channel before, and it was one that we were looking for, but we got a peacock colored large butt Ellie Smith Thousand Eye. So that means it has the bigger eyes on it, not the smaller ones, which is the style that we prefer in the Thousand Eyes. And it also has a sticker on it. And when you got that for $100 locally from someone like less than 5 minutes away from us, they posted it on Facebook Marketplace, and we did ask for a lower price than what they had listed it for on Facebook, and they took it. So we paid $100 for this Ellie Smith Peacock Thousand Eye, and it is super pretty. It is the only piece of Ellie Smith peacock that we have. I think it's the only peacock vase that we have in general. And I would say it's probably 22 inches tall, maybe. It has a really cool mouth on it, and it has a sticker like we said. It's probably worth around $250, maybe $300. Because of the colorway being peacock, it's a little harder to find, as well as it having the big eyes instead of the small ones. I think it would go for around $250 or $300, and we only paid $100. Next, number 5, we're in the top 5, is our baby Bittersweet Pineapple Butt, which is right here. We got that in Kansas City at the same time that we got Dad's Broken Column. Also from Matt Cass Vintage Glass on Instagram. They work at the Shawnee Antique Mall, which also has an Instagram, so if you want to check out Shawnee Antique Mall, they have all kinds of glass. It's my very favorite antique mall, so you should check them out. And also, this is my unicorn piece right here, so I'm glad we found it there. We paid $325, I believe, for it, which is the most expensive vase that we have. But I've been looking for it for the past 2 years, I think, year and a half, so it was awesome to find, and I was really, really surprised. So you guys should go check out that video if you haven't, because I get really excited in it. Number 4, we found this one really early last year, probably May of last year, and it was quite a trip to get it. It was actually 6 hours away, and I might not would do that again now, but then I was super excited. The lady had it listed as a golden brown vase, and I immediately knew that it was not a golden brown vase. It is an Ellie Smith Amethyst smoothie, and it is only 16 inches tall. It's really short, but it's super cute, and we do still have it today. And we only paid $20 for it. So we got there, and I was like, yeah, this is purple. Not golden brown, but the lady was really nice, and I'm glad that she let us come get it, because at first she thought we were scammers. Scamming her out of $20. I'm not sure, but she blocked us, and then we on that listing, and we ended up getting it in the end anyway, so I'm glad we did. Okay, that was number 4. Number 3 is the Ellie Smith Milk Glass 3-Toe that Luke found in December. He found it for $18, $18.99 in the top of this boutique-y looking store. We thought, well, they're not gonna have any antiques, so I just stayed outside, and Luke went in, and he found it in like the attic of the place, and he bought it for $20, and it is probably worth about $200+ I would say at least 200. They're really hard to find and people are looking for them like crazy. We actually did end up keeping it. We already had one, but we went on a big trip to get the first one and I didn't want to sell it, so. Okay, number 2 is another thing we got from that estate sale where they were crooked, where we got the Bittersweet ribbed and the red Nuby Butt. And these are actually Shire Jadeite Jack in the Pulpits, Moon and Stars Jack in the Pulpits, and they are super cool and we sold both of them. We paid, I don't remember if it was $10 or $20 each, but even at $20 each, we paid $40 for the pair and we sold them each for $200. So we spent $20, maybe $40, and got $400 in return. They were super awesome and people really wanted them for their collections and they're super hard to find. We had no idea, but we went ahead and bought them because we thought maybe they're worth a little bit more than what we think. And then last but not least, the best find of the year, my favorite find of the year, was the Viking Gypsy Rose that we found at Relics Antique Mall in Springfield it was $10, but the booth was 20% off, so it was $8. We got it for $8, and we sold it for $400. And it was awesome, and we paid our bills. So, yeah, that was my favorite find of the year. That's going to be my favorite find for a really long time, I think. We absolutely loved it. We sold it within the day, or maybe it was the second day. But it was an awesome find. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, hiding in a corner shelf, and it was awesome. I got really excited when we found it, and I wasn't quite sure what it was worth at the time, so I got on my phone, I used Google Images, I found it, and then I posted on on Instagram, and we sold it, like, right then. We got plenty of people asking about it, and one lady offered us $400, and I waited a little while, no one offered more, so I took $400, which is fantastic. And we sold it, and that's the number 1 find of the year. So thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 by the end of February. Watch a couple other videos so we can get my watch hours up so that I can get monetized on here and we can start going on bigger trips. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Bye guys. Here's to 2024 and all the cool things we're gonna find.